Review: Hollyland Lark150 wireless mic setup. You get 2 TX units and 1 RX unit. It's meant for YouTubing, vlogging, presentations, any kind of interview scenario, obviously because of the 2 TX units, and in general talking head stuff. And although I'm thoroughly enjoying using it, here's a couple of use cases that I wouldn't recommend it for, just to get that out of the way first. And that's something like aerobics instructions or martial arts exhibitions, to name a couple of examples from the far end of the spectrum. But you're getting the idea. The problem being a lot of body movement. And I say this because the lavaliers that come with this setup plug into the TX units. They don't screw into them. So if there's lots of body movement, you're running a risk of unplugging the lavaliers from their respective units. And if we're talking live scenario, that means you're royally. So that's a risk I personally just wouldn't take. But for any other kind of use cases, this is an awesome setup. It's easy to set up. It gives you very good audio quality. It has a small form factor and a couple of interesting and very intelligently done features that you don't see too often in other units. So let's take a detailed look at the Lark150 from Hollyland. It comes with its own transport box, which is always appreciated. But on top of that, the transport box is a charger. You throw in either of the TX or the RX unit and the box automatically charges them. It can charge both the TX and the RX unit 2.5 times over. Then you have to charge itself via USB-C. Only downside of that system, if you want to call it a downside, is that you can't charge them any other way. The individual units don't have a USB-C connection. You're getting 2 lavalier microphones, one for each TX unit, and both the lavaliers have foam wind muffs. For the units themselves, you're getting 2 micro fur wind muffs that do a pretty good job. Now, if you wanted to use micro fur wind muffs on the lavaliers, you would have to get them separately. But there's good quality ones out there that do not break the bank at all. You're getting both a 3.5mm 3-pole TRS cable that you can use to hook up the RX unit to most cameras, as well as a 3.5mm 4-pole TRRS cable that you can use to hook up the RX unit to mobile devices. On the right side of the RX unit, you can turn it on and off via the push of a button and hook up headphones to monitor your audio. The whole system is very compact and lightweight. Both TX units come in at 20 grams each, whereas the RX unit sits roundabout at 50 grams. Now, when it comes to setting up the Lark150, here's the first cool feature I want to talk about. Grab one of the boxes, put your units in there, and within a couple of seconds, these units will sync up. That is super useful. Now, as far as mic placement goes, you could use the individual TX units by themselves because they have built-in microphones. And if you place them like lavalier, pretty close to the talent's mouth, that will get you very good audio quality. So my basic setup is this. TX units sit like in the jacket pocket or the pants pocket, and then I run the lavalier, preferably under the wardrobe, to the collar. Any kind of dress shirt is perfect, any kind of polo shirt works well, t-shirts are a bit fiddly, any kind of blazer or jacket, perfect. That's how I prefer to set up my talent. I always tell them, bring a dress shirt, bring a blazer, something like that. Don't just show up in a t-shirt. Then, what mode am I running the Lark150 RX unit in? It offers 3 different ones. A -6 decibel attenuation mode, if the signal comes in too hot, a stereo mode, and a mono mode. Mono would take speaker audio number 1, speaker audio number 2, mix them together, and then double this track for a stereo recording inside the camera. Which means I cannot individually post-produce each speaker's audio, which is something that I prefer to do if I have the option of post-production. That's why, for most scenarios, I choose stereo mode. Speaker audio number 1, which is a mono track, and speaker audio number 2, which is also a mono track, are combined into one stereo track on the camera. Now, in post-production, I do have the option to individually post-produce each speaker's audio. So in Resolve, I have imported my clip into the media pool, and this is important. Inside the media pool, right-click, come to Click Attributes, and under the Audio tab, you can see one stereo track. For both left and right, I select Embedded Channel number 1. Then I add a second stereo track, and for both left and right, I select Embedded Channel 2. The end result being, after I have dragged the clip into the timeline, 2 stereo tracks, one for speaker 1 and 2 for speaker 2, which allows me to individually post-produce both speakers. I'm currently recording this into a Sony a7 III, and those preamps are really, really good. So here's what I set up to get what I want. +1 on the camera side, +10 on the Lark150 RX unit, aka the microphone side. And this levels my audio to -12 decibels, which generally speaking is something that you should aim at in most scenarios for overall general good audio quality. In my experience, most of the time, the pre-gains on the microphone side of things outperform the pre-gains on the camera side of things. So maxing out on the mic is going to introduce way less noise than maxing out on the camera. Something else that comes in very handy, you can mute the signal on both ends via a single button push. And of course, unmute it the same way. So rack time, around about 4 hours for the TX unit, 7.5 hours for the RX unit, and you can charge them pretty fast. Inside the box, it's speed charging. Range 20 meters. I don't know exactly what that is in feet right now, 60, 70-ish feet. Yeah, when is that going to come in handy? Almost never. In any regular interview, talking head, presentation type scenario where you look into the camera, you always have a direct line of sight and you're not going to be further away than like 5-6 meters. I mean, that's a lot actually. So for all the use cases this is designed to serve, you're going to be golden as far as range is concerned. Alright, to wrap this up, I really only wish the units would give me enough battery life to last for a whole day. And that's just because I really thoroughly enjoy using this system. It's easy to bring, easy to transport, easy to sync, easy to charge, easy to set up, easy to level. It's just easy to use, it's hassle-free. And that's the most important characteristic, at least in my book, when it comes to gear that you use for work. You do not want to have to think about it while using it. It just has to work, and this does. Also, you're getting really good audio quality, depending a bit on the type of camera you're using and the quality of its preamps. But with any contemporary camera, any recent camera, you should be good. Also, you're now set up for basic interview scenarios, 2 speaker scenarios, because you're getting 2 TX units and you're getting 2 lavaliers. And because of the recording modes it offers, it flawlessly integrates with my existing audio post-production workflow for interview scenarios. So there's really nothing I can justifiably so put the Lark150 down for. Hence, it does come very recommended if you're looking for a dual TX wireless microphone system for presentation, interview, talking head, dual speaker scenarios. That's it for this video. If you liked it, if you found it helpful, please make sure to leave a thumbs up. It's greatly appreciated. Any kind of comment or feedback is welcome and I'll try to answer as quickly as possible. All the tech that I've used in this video is linked in the description. As always, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for watching and hopefully see you again soon.